Welcome to the VW Nut Garage. We're going to take a ride in Miss Ruby today, and I'm going to put a little bit of wax on there, and we're going to get the roof rack put on there without scratching myself or the car. Stay tuned. Me and Bettina just out for a little ride. We're going to get on the freeway, highway, whichever you choose. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a difference. I don't really care. Alright, we're turning you on. Roll up your window. Turn the radio down, play your music. I don't want to get in trouble. Alright, well, we're on the freeway, 61. Smells like fresh paint. It's good though, nice and warm. Nice and warm, she's running good. I don't hear nothing out of the ordinary. I don't feel nothing out of the ordinary. Great little car. Alright, sit back and enjoy. I don't know how warm it is outside today, but it ain't toasty. There's still snow. And, I don't know, me and Bettina are plenty toasty in here. Volkswagen heat works great. Watch out, boys. Watch out. Alright, we're still out riding around. It's, running just fine. Super awesome. Not a beach day. I mean, kinda, but there's no people. For me, it's good. Oh, boys, watch out. I have to show you, this is how Bettina thinks that she needs to ride around Ruby. She's sadly mistaken. Alright, well, welcome back. Thank you again for being here. She's running fine, driving fine, super great car. A couple of things I got to address. Broken speedometer cable, I'm going to do that. I have some stereo in here, but I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to change some components around, I think. I got to put my roof rack back on there, and so we'll see how far we get today. I'm going to start by giving her, I want to wipe her down and make you kind of touch the whole car when you do that. So give her a good once over and a good wipe down, and see if we can't get the garage warm enough to put a little bit of wax on her. So stay tuned. Alright, so I got Ruby all wiped down, and even put a little bit of wax on the top because when the roof rack's on there, I can't really get my arm in there to put a good coat of wax on there. So I'm going to put 3 different waxes on there, up there today. Here's what I started with. I started with this Meguiar's here. It's a good cleaner wax. I really like it. It works well for me. And then I'm going to go to this Mother's, which is also a cleaner wax, but it's a little different. It's a little better product. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. And then I'll finish with this Carnauba. I'm not saying that's what you have to use or that's what you should use. I'm just saying that's what I'm using with this particular car and this particular paint. So we'll see how it turns out. Right now it's just sitting with my best Karate Kid impression on it, and we'll see about getting it off of there. Alright, so I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but that wax is pretty dry, so we'll take that one off and see what it looks like. I did break out some of my liquid wax, just a little bit, the Ultimate Detailer, and just the lightest little spray on my rag before I take it off seems to help. Alright, so here's a little trick I use. That same liquid wax, some people want to try and stay away from getting wax on the rubbers, and if you can, it's good, but nobody's perfect, and sometimes you slip up. Well, wax seems to take off wax, so if you dampen a cloth with a little bit of that liquid wax and wipe your rubbers down, for me, I have found that it takes the wax right off of there. Alright, so I got it all wiped down and it looks pretty good. I got a couple of spots that I don't like. I don't know if the camera will pick them up. Not the best light in here, but I got a couple of spots in here that I don't like. So we're going to go over them with probably the same thing, just a little more elbow grease. Sometimes that seems to do it. We'll see what I can do. Alright, so I went out and I grabbed my roof rack. If you're going to put a roof rack on your classic Volkswagen Bug, the likelihood of you scratching yourself, the roof rack, the car, it's high. So for me, I kind of accepted that at some point in my life I'm going to end up repainting Miss Ruby. And that it may get scratched with the roof rack or the stuff I put on the roof rack. For me, the fun in having this car is to use it and to drive it. So that's what it's for. So I will put new rubbers on the feet, just little pieces of fuel line before I put it up there. And I will try my hardest not to scratch the paint and or myself. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I got that first coat wiped off and pretty happy with that. So I put the Mother's product on there. And then I'll tell you a story about the roof rack and stand by. Alright, so the Mother's is on there, Karate Kid style. We'll let that dry and I'll come over here and we'll tell you a little story about this here roof rack. I wanted a roof rack for my Bug because I wanted my Bug to be able to be used to haul my fishing canoe around. I do some bass fishing in the summertime and I wanted to put it on my Bug. So I didn't want an aftermarket rack, or I wanted something that was meant to be on the car but was sturdy enough to hold my canoe. So the aftermarket racks that they make now, nothing against them, but for what I wanted, I needed something a little more substantial. This is a really pretty stout rack. So I found it on Craigslist. The gentleman had a 1958 Bug, and he had it on his 58 Bug from 1958 to 59. He took it off in 59 and put it in the barn where it stayed until last year when I got it from him. And it has had the canoe up there. It's a little iffy at like 65, 70, but if you're going back roads, it's just fine. So we'll get that back up on there soon as that product right there dries and we put one more on there. Alright, so that one's about dry. Yeah, so we'll get that one off of there. Alright, and so finally I'm going to put this, let that dry. It's up there on there. Just have to trust me, we're going to let that dry. wipe it off, and then we'll put the roof rack on. Like watching wax dry. We'll get that off of there. Alright, well, that's as good as it's going to get. Just because it's just as good as it's going to get. Go ahead and set you guys over here and we'll get that roof rack put on there. What are you guys looking at? Hard saying, not knowing. You're looking at something. Oh, how about the car? Nice. So I'm looking for, I found it. I'll try. Just a little bit of electrical tape. Gotta put just a little bit of electrical tape. So, like I was just telling Patina, I put this little piece of electrical tape right here. I put that on there to hold that arm up because that's gonna have to go up and across the car, and it swings around and you don't want that to hit your car. So, set you guys over here. I'll go ahead and put this here. Oh yeah, you guys should be able to see everything right there. So, this car has witness marks on it because this roof has been used and been put on this car all of last year. So, it's not as bad as if it was the first time. Just like that. Alright, well, got her clipped into place now. What I use to tighten it, I'll show you guys. This is the ice pick. And I just go a little bit one side to the other side, but the ice pick seems to be the tool because you can't really crank down on it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't need a whole lot. I mean, it should be able to hold whatever on there. Oh, a little bit at a time. And that side's pretty tight. We'll give her a little bit. Alright, well, and that's how I install my roof rack. You see there's not a lot of room for my arm in there. It's been a good rack. Alright, I'll get on to waxing and detailing the rest of this car. That's probably all for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll have some more adventures with Ruby. We'll get to that speedometer cable soon. I got some things with the fog lights I want to do. Reverse lights, I need to hook them up. They're a 1-year only thing. So, until next time, thanks again. Alright, one thing I like to do, I just put wax on the whole car, and why the car has all the wax. I take that as a time to put the wheel dressing on there. It's because the wax kind of protects the paint. Wheel dressing can make a mess of paint. So that's when I like to do it. Alright, thanks again. Alright, well, that's as shiny as I'm going to make her. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out with me in my garage, and we'll see you soon.